The girl who never blinked. When I was 10 years old, my grandmother moved in with us. She said the old house on Willow Street was too loud. No one knew what she meant by that. Grandma had always been quiet. Not the sweet, cookie-baking kind of quiet. The observant kind. The kind that watched you a little too long before answering a question. Every night, after dinner, she would sit in the living room with only the lamp on beside her. The rest of the house would stay dark. She liked it that way. It's easier to think in the dark, she'd say. One night during a heavy thunderstorm, the power went out. The house felt different without electricity. Too still, like something was waiting for permission to move. I couldn't sleep, so I went downstairs. Grandma was already awake. Rocking. Back and forth. Back and forth. The lightning flashing through the windows made her shadow stretch unnaturally long across the wall. "Can't sleep?" she asked without looking at me. I shook my head. She patted the seat beside her. "Do you want to hear a story?" I nodded. I wish I hadn't. "There was a girl," Grandma began, her voice almost blending with the wind outside. She was very quiet, kept to herself, never caused trouble. The girl wore oversized sweaters, even in summer. Her hair covered her eyes. She spoke so softly teachers leaned in just to hear her. She wasn't strange, Grandma continued. She was just alone. But there were other girls at school. Loud ones, cruel ones. They circled her like sharks. They'd trip her in hallways, hide her notebooks, whisper things just loud enough for her to hear. Ugly, weird, freak. They thought she didn't notice, Grandma said softly. But she noticed everything. Every laugh, every shove, every day. It became routine. Humiliation before lunch. Isolation after. Silence on the bus ride home. One afternoon, the quiet girl didn't come to school. Then the next day. Then the next. The teacher said she was sick. But she wasn't. She had gone home after another day of being cornered in the locker room. They cut pieces of her hair, held scissors to her face, told her she didn't deserve to look normal. That night, she locked herself in her room, and she never came out alive. The town was shaken. The bullies cried at the assembly. The principal spoke about kindness, but apologies don't echo into graves. That's when the disappearances started. The first girl vanished on a Thursday. They found her behind the gymnasium. Cold, still, a pair of silver scissors resting neatly on her chest. The police blamed a drifter. Then another girl disappeared. Then another. Each body left somewhere symbolic. The bathroom, the lockers, the bleachers, each one marked with scissors. Open, waiting. The newspapers called it the work of a serial killer. But no fingerprints were ever found. No footprints. No witnesses. Just the metallic scent of blood and the faint sound some neighbors claimed they heard at night. Snip, snip, snip. Only one girl remained. She wasn't a leader. She didn't start the bullying. She never held the scissors. But she watched. She laughed sometimes, stayed silent other times. She told herself she wasn't responsible, until she started seeing things. A figure across the street, standing under streetlights, hair covering her face, not blinking, always holding something that glinted in the dark. The last girl stopped sleeping, stopped eating. One evening, walking home alone, she felt breath on her neck. Soft, cold. "Why didn't you help me?" a voice whispered. She turned and saw her, the quiet girl, skin pale, eyes wide, scissors in her hand. The last girl screamed. The neighbors found her hours later in the road. Alive, but barely conscious. Her face had been cut from the corner of her mouth to her cheek. A long, deliberate smile carved into her skin. The scissors lay beside her. Spotless, The quiet girl was never seen again. Grandma stopped rocking. The storm outside had gone silent. The house felt heavier. What happened to the last girl? I asked quietly. Grandma's fingers brushed her cheek absent-mindedly. She lived, she said, but she never stopped seeing her. Lightning flashed, and for the first time, I noticed it. Under Grandma's foundation. Thin white lines stretching from her mouth toward her ear. Like an old, healed smile that went too far. "You were her," I whispered. Grandma finally looked at me. Her eyes didn't blink. "Not once. I wasn't cruel," she said slowly. "I just didn't stop it." The room felt colder. "You don't have to hold the scissors," she continued softly. "Sometimes being silent is enough." The hallway light flickered back on. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. Grandma leaned closer. Her breath smelled faintly metallic. "And if you ever see someone being bullied..." She paused. I heard it then, from somewhere upstairs. A slow, deliberate snip. Grandma smiled, wider than before. "Don't just watch." The rocking chair started moving again. Back and forth. Back and forth. But she wasn't touching the floor.